According to Gemini, Dunbar's number is a suggested cognitive limit to the number of people with whom one can maintain stable social relationships. According to Wikipedia, it has been proposed to lie between 100 and 250, with a commonly used value of 150. To avoid boring you to death or throwing so much science jargon at you that you tune out, what this basically implies is that we humans can only truly know a maximum of 250 people, but it's more often about 150. Of that 150, you have your super close friends and family, people you can call close friends, and friends. For me, even with the power of the internet, that number is more like 80, by choice. You see, I have a lot of trades that I like to jack. My brain is not big enough to retain the faces, names, and life details of 150 people and be able to come up with a line, sipping witch's brew out of a pot make my chest hairy. Or code Nalu, write scripts, edit in Final Cut Pro after 10 plus years of Premiere, or edit thumbnails in Affinity Photo after 10 plus years of Photoshop, or it sounds like I'm making excuses. I promise you I'm not. There's so much going on up here every second of every day, and only about 2% of it pertains to social relationships. Moreover, I have trust issues. Not that I've been burned in the past, I think I've always had trust issues. It's more about what I've observed, less about what I've been through. For that reason, my friend circles, plural, are small by design, in real life and online, because anyone is capable of anything, and I do not enjoy lacking the ability to predict. However, that is not the topic of today's video. We're here to be positive. Not every friend is close, and that's okay. Hello, team. I hope this video finds you well. My name is Bartholomew. It's kind of like Bartholomew, but with a Z. Let's start with family. You literally have no choice but to be related to them. You are born into this world with familial ties. Generally, because you share these ties, and for a good chunk of your life, you don't make your own decisions, you are more likely to spend a lot of time with your family. There is a reason I'm generalizing these statements, and I'll get to that later. For now, let's imagine this as true as it pertains to the theory. Your family often consists of people who've known you or known of you since you've been born. In most cases, especially during your early childhood, these are the people closest to you, by physical proximity and emotionally. Your family is usually the first to see you experience life and emotion, and hold great influence over your worldview. Much of what you are direct or indirectly taught as you grow up comes from this group. They are often the first group you look to when you need advice or trust. And we'll get to the next group, which is close friends, but first I want to talk about found family. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. This is a wild card group. Earlier I said that I was generalizing the concept of family, and that's because not everyone is the same. Some people have stronger or similar ties to people who are not related to them. For example, while I love my family dearly, and don't tell my mother this, I have a lot of cousins, and some of those cousins have kids, and those kids are my cousins, but I could not tell you all of their names. I'm a deadbeat cousin. I hate family reunions. It also doesn't help that they all have nicknames. Gun to my head, you sit me in a room of all of my cousins and tell me to point out Stinkabutt and the Doot-Doot-Loot-Doot twins, I'm cooked. So, extended family is sometimes difficult to keep close. In some cases, immediate family is difficult to keep close. The people in the found family group don't necessarily have to be hard replacements for your family. They can be additions. They make their way into the mix through many mediums. Maybe it's because you're part of the same club, enjoy the same TV shows, or have lived similar lives. Maybe your worldviews mesh, you have a shared culture or language. It doesn't matter how they got there, these people are like family to you. And I could make a whole video on why, for some, found family is more important than real family, but that's not what this video is about. For the purposes of this video, consider the family and found family group one and the same. In relation to Dunbar's number, consider both groupings to be super close friends and family. Next, we have close friends. This group is exactly as it sounds. These are the people that you know like the back of your hand. Hey, that's new. Some close friends are found family. Some aren't. It's up to you how segmented the groups are. Nonetheless, this group consists of people you know well enough to consider them close. Real friends? How many of us? Then there's friends. These are people that you know, but not as well as the previous groups. Maybe you have common interests, but it doesn't go beyond that. Some within this group, you've never met their parents, don't know where they live, rarely show up to events or functions, but they are still your friends. This is the group that interests me the most, Because regardless of the closeness or lack thereof, valuable experiences can be had with this group. And those experiences are only additive to the whole pie. Just because we segment these people based on how much we know about them doesn't mean that our interactions with them and the emotions we feel have to be separate. This may be hearsay, but if we were able to fine-tune our emotions that way, we would not be human. I will not explain. A couple of months ago, and at this point it's probably like a year, I saw a Discord call full of a very niche group of friends that I went to high school with. Not only did I go to high school with them, I was part of their homecoming group, in a sense. I hung out with these folks sparingly outside of the lunch table and Xbox party chat. Nonetheless, I consider them friends, and if they watch this video, I'm sure it won't break their hearts to hear me say that they aren't close friends, because they can't tell me my mother's name, and I can't tell them theirs. What I can tell you is that we all love playing SMITE together. Look, I'll be completely transparent. Most of my closest friends, whom I consider brothers, do not know that there is more to gaming than Call of Duty, NBA 2K, and Naruto Ninja Storm 4. Would I stand atop the skies and take the lives of tens of thousands of people to gain the abilities and title of Demon Lord so that I have enough strength to resurrect my family's lifeless bodies? Yes. Are they going to play SMITE with me? No. So I have a different friend group to fill in that gap. Anyway, I see this call, I join. We talk as if it hasn't been 8 months since we last spoke. I go, y'all on SMITE too? They say, get in here, what are you doing? Now, I wish I had been recording footage of our time on this game because it is very hard to describe the emotions, but part of me loves that it was just so impromptu and real that I don't care. We played for hours. The only games I play for hours these days are Pearl Abyss's critically acclaimed 2014 action MMORPG Black Desert, and more recently, Rematch. SMITE 1 was the game that brought us together in high school. I find it very poetic that we found ourselves enjoying SMITE 2 together years later. While playing, it was commented on that it felt like 2015 again. And I'm not really one to reminisce or yearn for the past, but here, in this context, it truly felt like I was dreaming, and I was enjoying every second of it. It was this night of gaming with old friends and the amount of joy I felt revisiting a familiar space that gave me the idea to make this video. The friends that I play SMITE with are not my family. Heck, they're not even close. But we all play SMITE. Robert Dunbar proposed this theory in 1992. 11 years before MySpace and Skype, 14 years before the public launch of Facebook and Twitter, and 23 years before Discord, my beloved. The concept of friends was in a lot of ways very different back then. However, no matter how easy it is to connect and stay connected, the concept of maintaining those social relationships is still at play, and the number is still the same. A study conducted in 2011, albeit old data compared to today's landscape, and I believe it's a better representation of internet-driven social interaction rather than the engagement baiting posts that we have today. Nonetheless, the study analyzed millions of replies between users. What they found is that people are still only able to maintain stability within 100 to 200 individuals, even in a digital world. The implications are that social networks do not expand our social capacity, but amplify the existing constraints. Even online, you are still human, until they put that little chip in your brain and execute Order 66. Now, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy trying to make sense of my feelings. I brought this study up not because I believe it to be the anchor to my statement, but another element. I'm sure everyone knows it to be incredibly difficult to even imagine keeping track of hundreds of people, and this study hammers home the impossibility of it. Earlier, I referenced the power of the internet. It was for two reasons. One, I'm of the belief that it would be my choice to maintain 80 stable relationships regardless of the interconnectivity limitations. A world where there is no internet versus a world where there is, I cannot see myself attempting to consider everyone that I interact with as my friend. Two, of the relationships that I choose to maintain, most of them are only made possible because the internet. By Childish Gambino. Much like it is improbable for man to exceed Dunbar's number, it is equally as improbable to assume that of the people you are closest to, they all will share every interest that you do. But I find beauty in that fact, and that's where variety plays a role. A study conducted in 2024 measured network homophily. I think that's how I say that word. I don't know.
Homophily.
Homophily. How similar one is to their friends, and perceived social cohesion or belongingness, all to assess subjective well-being. This study reinforces my claim that it's okay to not be close with every friend. Dunbar already showed us that it's not possible. But if I were to then assume that I must do everything that my closest friends do and never deviate, not only would I be in a perpetual echo chamber, but I'd never have played Celeste. And NBA 2K would be my favorite game. And I hope that the universe that me exists in explodes. Through this study's findings, it implies that too much similarity is harmful to one's mental well-being. Allowing yourself a diverse group is more beneficial to you. So if we combine the two, I'm a happier individual because I have different friend groups for different things. In other words, not every friend is close, and that's okay. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Wacky links in the description. Y'all be easy.